Hey everybody, welcome back to more Cultist Simulator. I'm excited to get back into this. I've kind of reached a point. I record, I'll do like 1 or 2 episodes every couple of days. But this one's gotten its hooks into me in a way that, like, in between recording sessions, all I want to do is go play it. And so far I've been good and I haven't gone and played it off camera. But man, am I excited to keep into it. So where are we at? So last time, we were able to get through a handful of expeditions. We've learned some more languages. We got the cult upgraded pretty thoroughly. Today, I think the focus is going to be a couple of things, right? So I want to stockpile funds again so that we can kind of get ready for some expeditions and go and buy more books. We got to get rid of this evidence, although tentative evidence doesn't concern me as much, but it looks like the detective is in the middle of finding out more. We got a mirror that we need to fix. Yeah, so couple of things that are kind of in the middle. And I'm still trying to put together enough pieces to successfully complete a rite. So we'll be working on that too. We really need to learn Latin. That's holding us back. And then this, we're gonna sell because I already know Greek. So actually, why don't I start off by doing that? And we will get into things. Thanks again for coming by and joining up for more Cult Sim. I'm having a ton of fun with it. Hopefully you are enjoying it as well. Let's go ahead and keep working. What am I studying right now? We can't study any of the books. Do we want to upgrade some lore? What are the lores that we're struggling because they say we don't have enough? Let's try and upgrade this knife lore. All of the greatest struggles end in death. The lore of the knife holds the lessons of those struggles. We gotta go collect a new commission as well. The commission system is really kind of changing the game as far as our monetary concerns goes, which is really nice. Because we're kind of in a position now where it's just like take a commission, sell the commission payment, and then move on with the day. This is a 6 winter influence. That's going to turn into dread if we let it decay. Okay, or I can just take a fascination. That seems equally garbage. I'm kind of in a weird in-between spot in this playthrough because it seems, ooh, another patron. It seems like I know just enough about this game to like make things progress, right? Like I know enough about the game to make everything kind of move forward. But yeah, maybe progress isn't the right phrase, right? Like I know enough to make the game function, but I don't know that I'm really progressing. Which is kind of a weird thing about this game because the game is so thoroughly built on just you experimenting. At times it can be really hard to gauge your progress. I think we're gonna paint quite a bit of dread on the table. I think we're gonna paint here while our healths kind of chill out. I don't want to have no health on the board and then draw like a sickness or something. What do we have that we could paint with? Got 4 heart. Looks like 4 and 4 grail, or yeah, grail. All right, so nothing overwhelming on that front as far as making another painting like what we did with lantern. So we're just gonna let that chill. If I don't choose anything for inspiration, what does it do, I wonder? I'm gonna let that time out and see what happens. It might just become a failure, but I think that's kind of interesting. Swimming in vitalities. We got some health getting ready to come off cooldown here. I feel like I keep on being tempted to play on fast forward now that I kind of understand some of the like real simple ins and outs. But I feel like that's a trap because then I'm not going to really like pay attention and savor the stuff that's going on. Definitely not going to spend any extra money or put any extra effort into a painting that's about nothing. This is a puzzle with missing pieces. Risk your health or use a prisoner. Risk my health. I don't love that. I can't afford to be losing stats. We already lost some stats to that dry soul curse. I wonder if I lost health, if they would let me study with my health skill again. All right, so we seem to have a new patron, yeah? Count Jennings. Count Gottlob Jennings represents a continental confraternity of physicians and duelists. He could use your assistance. All right, well, let's see what you've got, sir. You're gonna give me a commission? Much less strings attached than with some of our other patrons. I like that. I will take the Furtive Truth because I'm gonna try and get into some expeditions now that we have some funds coming in. Before we do that, though, I do want to go to Moorlands a couple times because the goal is to perhaps learn Latin. And I think we can head back out again because we do have a couple healths in the works. I'm assuming if we explore enough with Furtive Truth, we will eventually find ourselves in a similar situation where it tells me that we found everything we could use. So that's kind of the play, is just to keep doing that. You'll need a matching lore fragment of at least level 6 to complete this commission. Okay, shoot. So his lore, or his request for a commission, we can't do because we just do not have the required art lore to do it. I don't think they don't have a timer on it though, so I don't think there's a penalty if we just let it sit. There it is. Is that it? All right, so we resolved that. Homeboy has now grabbed that evidence. So before we do much else with talk, I think we're gonna have to dispose of some evidence. All right, so he just wants a really simple secret histories commission. We can do that for sure. Let's leave the talk verb alone then for a few seconds here while I wait for that stuff. The 6 letters on necessity. All right, we'll read that in a moment. Moreland. I mean, with all the weird stuff Miss Moreland has sold us, like, come on, girl. You can't find me a Latin textbook. Are you already up to 2 dread? That's not great. Maybe we'll paint again. I seem to have decent success with paint pulling contentment. I don't know why that pulled another dread, not this contentment. That kind of sucks. All right, yeah, so it's damning evidence on the table now, so we're gonna have to do away with that. Who do we want to send? I'd rather not send Isabet or Porter since they're already each sitting on 1 scar. So we'll send Sylvia. Let's see what she can do about it. Let's paint and hopefully score some contentment. Let's not paint because we're still waiting on our passion to relax. So I guess let's just work on our commission. That makes sense. This was just a simple one, yeah? Yeah, so we'll just get that one done right quick. An operation of the Labite. Labite? A series of mystic exercises that requires both dedication and terror. So that is level 6. Edgelore. Okay, I'm excited about that. We might be able to do something with that. A Latin textbook. Oh my god. Glory, glory. All right, so we're gonna be busy studying all this crap for a little bit. So I think that's a good reason to maybe go and do an expedition as well. We're already tied up with that. Let's see here. Gware Inn. On a crumbling cliff above a gray sea, the Gware Inn squats until the day the sea comes for it. It receives few guests, fewer since the owner closed his notorious library to visiting scholars. All right, so do we just send the searching crew? They've done good for us so far. We can reserve rooms at the inn easily enough, but we can expect the locals, if they divine our intentions, to turn nasty. And if the library is still there, it will be well hidden. All right, so well hidden leads me to believe sending these guys is a good idea. Let's send 2 funds to start, because if they're also thinking there's going to be a ruckus, we'll probably send in the edge fellas. Seems to be the move here. I'll go grab another furtive truth. So study, let's learn our Latin. And then passion is good to go again. So let's go ahead and paint. Let's see if we can't maybe stir. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. We're still working on the commission. Can I get contentment from going to the wood? I don't remember enough about the normal trip through the basic door. More free vitality. I appreciate it, although honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. All right, yeah, so this... Oh. A warded door, forge, or knock. So lantern does nothing for me there. Interesting. I wish I knew which one was coming up first. All right, let's send... I feel like the door is probably less likely to injure someone if we screw it up. So let's send edge first. I guess the lantern bros are not going to be quite as effective as they've been in the past. All right, hopefully we get rid of this evidence without issue. That would be very nice. The evidence loop, if you've got someone with a high enough level to kind of consistently get rid of evidence, really nullifies the detective pretty strong. Nice. Did it again. All right, so we have talk is available, so let's just go ahead and turn this in just so that we can kind of reset his cooldown. And then we'll paint to hopefully grab some contentment. Do it with 1 mystique, it looks like. We'll paint with a glimmering. Why not? I wonder if we didn't pull as much in contentment and stuff like that last time because of the fact that I painted without a subject. All right, so we now have Scholar of Latin. I love it. This one is the only one that doesn't need to be translated, right? So let's read this one first, I suppose. The 6 letters on necessity. Warnings and confessions about the cost of the invisible arts, addressed to a student by the 17th century magus and reputed immortal, Julian Causali. Okay. Causali's tone is urgent, as if he suspected he might have little time left. Well, I don't understand. Are you immortal or not? The Watchers aren't ready for us. We should be able to bring them down. So do I start sending in knock now? Because it sounds like we're probably in a pretty good position to pass the check. You have forge and knock. I don't think that helps me though to mix them. Let's go ahead and send in Enid because she's knock but has no scar, and hopefully we'll overcome the Watchers there. And then in the next round we can send in Neville to hopefully pass that warded door challenge. All right, so we get an iron spinetra for our trouble. That can kind of go on the side for a minute here. Our talk verb is available. What should I do with it? Let's keep recruiting. That's what I'll do with it. Let's see if we can't find anyone else. Yeah, occult scrap. So the well I know can give us a rumor, which will do nothing for me. I don't remember what all of these guys give me. and awareness of appetite. Okay, so just a grail influence. I want to know if I want to paint with money or extra pigment, and I do not. I'm wondering if I should spend the time to upgrade moth again, just so that we have another level 8. Trembling in the air. All right, I don't have any fascination, so that's fine. I shouldn't say need. I would really like contentment out of this painting. I guess I could always dream for some morphine. Is it morphine or is it Valium? I don't remember. Opium. That's what it is. It's opium. Ah, so we got one out of it at least. Looks like just the one, but that's fine. Passion is well diluted at the moment. I need 2 to clear this, so let's go ahead and just get an opium dream set just so that I can clear that from the board. I really hate those hanging over me. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. Okay, so we did get rid of the Watchers. Sweet. All right, so we still have a fund in the pocket. Let's send Neville, which will get us up to 10 knock. Even the sun can be divided, though it require the Forge of Days for its division. All right, so nice, just a standard issue Smith's Secret. All right, we can read some of these now. The Orchid Transfigurations Volume 2. Well, surely we should read Volume 1 before we read Volume 2. Let's be real. A 16th century alchemical fever dream attributed to Robert Flood, frequently banned for the disturbing allure of its illustrations. This is in the original Latin. All right, so let's translate that. The books that require translation are a little frustrating because they take so much more time. But I say that, and then like, I think study is one of the verbs that I have trouble keeping full, or at least like, you have fits and starts where you need study almost constantly. Like there are times where it's just sitting there dormant, and then there are other times where I'm like, God, I wish I could study 6 things at once. All right, that contentment is now available to wipe out despair. It looks like trembling in the air is going to wipe out without an issue. We call upon the horned axe who waits at the threshold. We hear a great power of opening. We'll almost certainly shatter this warded door. I'm not going to send any money because if we pass this, I think we're golden. Yeah, so that disappears. Oh, I could have just used that to generate a way to get out of that. I sometimes don't think about what the like last remnant of a timer is going to produce for me. Oh no, it's still needed. Or maybe it just always grabs that first. No, I don't know. All right, hopefully that comes up and says we passed, which would, I believe, then tell me it's what? It says like treasure lies before us or something. Let's head through the white door. I gotta figure out how to get to the next door. We had a book mention the stag door. All right, we've prepared the text for study. The illustrations are certainly striking. They flush the skin and glow beneath the eyelids after the book is closed. So this sounds, hopefully, like it's gonna dish us some heart or some grail, which would be delightful. Because we want to be able to get something high enough that we can do the commission for Count Jannings. We've met Laidlaw, an acquaintance. Laidlaw is a tinkerer and mechanic with an uncanny knack. So it sounds like he's probably going to be a forge, if I'm reading that right, which is good because that's one we're still struggling with. We should turn this guy into a new commission though real quick before we do anything with Laidlaw, because that's going to tie up our talk verb for a little bit. I'm going to leave work alone so that we can immediately start work on this commission. Ooh, and then the death of a door. All doors must open as all lives must end. This door has found its end here today. Wonderful. All right, just another real easy secret histories. So that leaves us in a position where we can recruit Laidlaw. And we can go and do this commission right quick. Perfect. Iron Spinatria, you know, Spintria. I don't know that I've pronounced that correctly a single time during this playthrough. Treasure lies before us. All right, we've done it. So we can let that lay low. I think we're gonna use Explore on a couple furtive truths, just to round out what we have available before we go back on another expedition. And I'd like to continue pulling some stuff from Moorlands, although with how much of this needs translating, I don't know that we'll have a gap in what's available to study for a while. Laidlaw, a believer. Yeah, so he is Forge lore. Laidlaw has begun to understand the limitations of ingenuity and the power of sacrifice. Oh boy, are you going to be excited when we teach you something even cooler. It's a weird jump in power to get a fairly high level lore for your cult, because it means you're just turning everyone into disciples. It's like a complete, change in how the power of your cult works. All right, and we've got some of these Forgotten Chronicles too. I should maybe look at how tough those. I would assume expeditions are coming out of it the same as the others. We must not, or we must devour to be devoured. We cannot be undevoured, as we cannot be unborn. That's pretty crazy. Do I upgrade? I don't know if there's worth in keeping the low level lores. Like if I upgrade a red secret, I could then upgrade a Megalesian incantation. But I don't know how worth that it is. Let's do Orchid Volume 2. A 16th century alchemical fever dream. Okay, so nothing new about the actual book itself. Once we've translated it, perhaps we will hear more about its contents. Once Dream is available here, we're going to need that to be able to save the health that is currently in an ailment. So hopefully I don't forget that. All right. We've got our commission to turn in. I don't know that I want to keep. I don't know that I want to keep on painting and accumulate a ton of mystique and notoriety again. So we'll just kind of tread water with manual labor here for a minute or two. All right, we've done it. Did I get? Yeah, okay. The White Library. The room is bleached and quiet. The chairs are pale wood. The table is topped with white marble. A low draught blows through the ill-fitting sea-facing casement. In winter, it must be insupportably cold. A white painted glass case holds a shelf of books wrapped oddly in coils of copper wire. Some of the books are exotic 18th century pornography. Others are botanist journals. Some, however, have value for our studies. A yellowing note tucked into the spine of one reads, "Watch for me, J.C." All right, so we've got the Consortium Diaries. Those who do not need sleep. The Shaven Lock Tantra. On Matthias and the Amethyst Imago Loss. Some of the book titles are so radical. And of course, a Latin textbook that we now do not need, which is perhaps the most hilarious joke. Let's sell this Latin textbook, I suppose. And then again, kind of the boom or bust nature of having books available for study. We now have a ton of stuff to read again. Let's hit Moorlands a couple more times. We got a contentment for free. You love to see it. And then we can go bid on stuff at the auction house too. The auction house isn't solely for selling, so we might do that. Laidlaw, a disciple. Laidlaw has learnt the cleverer uses of fire and copper, wax, and acid. Awesome. All right, so now we have a second forge disciple. Pleasing. Let's go ahead and sell our manuscript. We gotta go sell our spintrias too. All right, let's take that and let's see if we can't recruit someone else while Talk is just sitting. I don't care for your restlessness. Favor of authority, which I still have not really figured out. I mean, I guess we've also never been in a position where I need it. Let's sell these spintrias just to get them done. Maybe I'll save one in case we need spintria for like a payment. That doesn't seem like a terrible idea. I've prepared the text for study. The second volume of a compilation of quasi-Rosicrucian allegories, supposedly by Robert Flood. This is a later English translation. Flood, or pseudo-Flood, suggests alignments between the alchemical tradition of Rubidoux and the older Grail traditions through the Pine Knight's quest for the Cinnabar Cup. That is exactly what I would have assumed. All right, let's head back out, and then churning through these cards so quick it's screwing up all my organizations down here. I do really wish, I know I've said this in like 6 episodes, maybe 6 episodes in a row, I wish I could just like lock a card's position and be like, no other card can go here. All right, detective's still searching. Oh no. All right, I have time on that. I totally forgot that I'm supposed to dream away this affliction, so we got to be careful on that. Let's paint. Do I have, well, I don't have any. He already grabbed my 1 notoriety. Let's do a big boy painting. Why not? I wish I could use the tools as my inspiration. Let's do an edge painting. Oh wait, doesn't this already come with moth? No, it only does that when I paint with passion, right? Yeah, because moth and passion go together. I wonder if we could, oh, I don't have moth paint though. It's so hard to keep track of everything. All right, so there's our spintrias. Let's save the other iron spintria just for a rainy day. Make sure we have some cash on hand that works more in line with the hidden world. Lost another health, so that's crummy. Gonna have to dream all that back pretty quick. And then after this Moorlands trip, I think we gotta grab a different expedition just to make sure that I've got some options on that front too. Would be fine. An acquaintance, okay. Oh, I didn't even see what I got. DeHorace, book 1. Okay, so let's search for this furtive truth. Odd nooks remain in the quiet countryside. Yeah, so like each level of secret histories yields a different level of expedition, it looks like. Seek the cup in the birthing bed, the Pine Knight is told. The midwife at the birthing bed, to his amazement, is the Mountain Mother. In a fit of awe, he both gelds and flays himself. The vigilant storm bursts joyfully from the remains. Oh, bonkers. All right, so what are we studying now? Those who do not sleep. A Fushine text attributed to the mystic Broadnecks. All right, so we would need to translate that. This one is in Sanskrit. we have anything that's not translated or needing of translation? Man, we busy. Phrygian. Okay. I don't know that we've really put Aramaic to work too hard, so let's do an Aramaic study. The diagrams and illustrations, even across the centuries, are elegant, hypnotic, occasionally erotic, in Aramaic. All right, translate the Aramaic and study that one. Another furtive truth. Let's grab it since I'm kind of trying to get my stage set for that. We're gonna need to do a day of hard labor to try and get a vitality out of it, which is a little tricksy because we're low on health, with the health being indisposed. I think we got 1 gold from that painting. I wish painting was more reliable. Like, I get why it wouldn't be. I get that it kind of is like a boom or bust. Like, you're spending a lot of resources and you're exposing yourself to scrutiny, and so it's not something that you should be able to just go to the well on again and again and again. But like, when we don't have anything that we can do for the commission side, I just wish that there was something other than just banging my head against the wall. All right, tentative evidence out of the detective. Maybe we'll go clean that up now while it's still just tentative. Send Sylvia out again, I guess. All right, there's a vitality with which we can fix this new affliction. Before we send Sylvia out, though, we can get another commission. Who are you? Rose, an acquaintance. Rose is a sly miss. She recognizes you as someone uncommon. Wonderful. All right, Rose. Well, bear with me here for a moment. We're going to get you recruited in just a second, but we got some stuff to do. Let's get another commission, which I suppose we might as well just get to work on right away. Ah, Crocus Hill. The ancient tribes reserved this resting place for one who, by the end, service to a certain merciless hour, was more scar than man. They sealed the entrance with binding songs and mortared blood. Jesus Christ. That's kind of intense. All right, we need to wait on our commission. All right, this is now available for study. An accountant of an occult romance, a certain Para, son of Aaron, claims to have written this in a single day and a single night as part of his initiation into the Damascene branch of the House of Leth, that tight, disciplined order of immortals who reject their past and future. The laws of the house forbade Matthias to love. The customs of the wood forbade the imago to remain. So he conjured her a final time, when she had uncovered the shears of Alakapura, and she suffered him to cut the wings from her back, so that she might remain, and he suffered her to cut the parts which hold man's seed, to keep them from the detestable act. This was love in all its blood and joy. We have cast out Matthias from the house. Crazy. All right, so homeboy wants a medium grade lantern, which we can certainly take care of for you. Man, most of my lanterns tied up somewhere. All right, we'll get that set. Let's have Sylvia take care of this evidence. And then we'll turn right around and recruit. All right, so we got another health to cure. Then I might fix this mirror. Because is that going to be, like, some of these are 8s. I have a feeling the mirror is more powerful than a noonstone. And then you're working on what? Uncovering, yeah, uncovering another location. We'll go do another expedition here in a second. Should maybe start working up the chain on my doubles in lantern lore. I thought maybe I already did, because I thought I had a 4 and a 6, and it looks like maybe I had used those last episode, and that's how we got the 8, because I might only have the level 2s now. Lockwood Fen. The reeking murk of the fenlands is ripe with furtive life. Taciturn locals still watch the sacred places of the small and secret gods, the ones that answer prayers. That's pretty intense. Then let us do such a thing. Let me see. Out in the mudlands, somewhere, we are certain, is a shrine bedecked with precious oddments. If the locals try to kill us, we are probably heading in the right direction. Okay, so then let's do this. Why don't we send the edge boys to start, because it sounds like things are going to get sideways pretty quick, and then I can read the obstacles to see who we need to send in support. See how that goes. The right of the map's edge was given to us by the vagabond. It is the right that Matthias used to summon the amethyst imago, but like many summoning rites, it could be used to conjure almost any entity, given the appropriate tool and the appropriate influence. Use it gently, in memory of the name and the long who suffered these agonies, that they might be joined. Alright, so we definitely should upgrade some moth lore, because we're just swimming in it. And now we do in fact have the right of map's edge. The vagabond is the only hour that never enters the mansis. This rite must be performed in the right place in the right time, and the vagabond will take that rightness for her own. So cool. Lord Franklin Bancroft, Diaries, 1750 to 1790. The Notorious Journal of a Notorious Gentleman, written in Latin, no doubt for the sake of safety. All right, friend, let's see what you've got. All right, so here is our study for the doctor. Our health restored, you love to see it. And then what do we got here? Oh no! My minion has returned, stumbling, mumbly, clumsily bandaged. They were caught in the coils of their own plan. Shoot, so Sylvia has failed to get rid of the evidence and now also has a scar to show. That sucks. I should have turned in the study before we healed her. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. All right, so we do have watchers, so we know that's an issue. And then what's this other one? Treacherous ground, forge, or lantern. Let's send the forge boys. Let's let Laidlaw kind of show his chops for the group. Yeah. It always feels like, it feels really dumb to just have work being dormant, but like honestly, the one gold at a time from manual labor just does not seem like it's worth my effort. Dread on the board, contentment kind of sitting with it sideways anyway. I'm a little nervous about the scar type. Hopefully it's one that's decently supportive. The Madrigad is an hour of forge as well as winter. Her power might quiet the unsteady earth. We'll probably be fine. We invoke the Madrigad, an hour of forge as well as winter. We'll make our own path through. Success is almost certain. Okay, so just the difference between having 5 and 10 there was enough to dramatically change the flavor text. Lord Franklin Bancroft was initiated into the arts of the flower maker by the Rose Witch, Fiona Ayrshire. He rose to become a society provider of occult services and secret pleasures before his abrupt disappearance in 1790. Bancroft seems to have been a talented adept, but devoted his energies to frustratingly whimsical projects, arranging grape-fetching races between Mansus spirits, teaching percussigants to juggle, and conjuring storms of imaginary blossoms for the Rose Witch Ayrshire, who resolutely refused ever to couple with him. Bancroft spends 20 pages bemoaning this last. My man could not get over getting the reject. All right. Another Forgotten Chronicle. All right, so once we're through all the green expeditions, we're going to be in a pretty good spot for Forgotten Chronicle here. The wound is healed, but this one came very close to death. All right, so she took a winter scar. So what do I do about it? Well, first let's turn in our commission. I want to keep those on cooldown as often as possible so that we can just get more. And then we'll see about having her try her hand at the evidence again. Bronze Spintria, which will certainly be worth selling. Let's recruit Rose first, yeah? Before we worry about the evidence. It's still just tentative, so it's not really anything overwhelming just yet. All right, we'll get her recruited and then upgraded. I say that, and then he immediately starts investigating again, which isn't great. We're mud spattered and thorn scratched, but we've made it through. Wonderful. And then I might send someone who's got an edge scar just to kind of up the edge. Yeah, maybe we'll send Isabet in, although I'd hate to see her take more damage. I'm not dreaming, and I should. Let's not dream with health though. I keep on dreaming kind of exclusively with whatever it is that I'm working with. Rose is a sly miss, but loyal. Ooh, she's also edge. Okay, so hang on. Why don't we just send her? Oh, she's only a 2. Well, but I'm only sending her so that we have edge. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now, or I can send another follower. That's 30 seconds. Do I have time to upgrade her? I don't think I do. I'm trying to think of like how the cooldowns would work against one another. So that's a full 60 seconds. I don't think this is enough time. Even after it kind of wounds around to the next one. So why don't I do this? Let's send Isabet like I had planned, just to get it up to 12. The mantra here recorded is a high and exacting magic, which can be used to pledge one's spirit to the Watchman, beginning an ascent to the house. Bancroft boasts of his ability to recite it when in his cups. He also had it set to music for a performance with fireworks at Vauxhall Gardens. An unmerciful mantra. Beautiful, beautiful. I will take level 6 of anything right now. That's awesome. Admittedly, Lantern's the one I needed in probably the least, but like, I ain't gonna be upset. The Shaven Lock Tantra, also known as the one who has shaven his hair. The story goes, is the lore that even the shape-changing Veneras rejected. This is in what it said, Sanskrit. Let's do it. We're such a learned fellow. Spartak knows all the language. How long is your cooldown? You still got time. Probably finish this expedition and see what we've got out of it, and then call it for this episode. Trying to make sure, I have a tendency we get towards the end of a recording, and then I have like all this new stuff that I've just found, and I'm like, ooh, let me check this, let me check this. The Watchers will almost certainly regret standing against us. So this isn't gonna work out. I was hoping we'd be able to get her upgraded just in time to sock it in here, but we do not. Any reason for me to send someone else? No. And I don't think this is the last. Do I need funds? I think maybe we already spent the coin to face the Watchers, but I don't want it to come back with logistic difficulties, because that would suck to have spent that time and then not have anything come out of it. We got time for one more work. And then I do still want to take a run at this evidence. Hopefully without any more complications. Buzzing in the brain does little for me. Yeah, see, like this peculiar rumor is going to be gonzo before anything can come of it, unfortunately. Rose has sharpened her cunning to a concentrated point. Wonderful. Why don't you take another crack at this same evidence? I don't know that she'll actually have time to do any work on it because he's in the middle of going through all my stuff. So he might snatch it out of that bird. We've prepared the text for study. Nothing changed here. The Tantra speaks glowingly of those who are prepared to abandon their old self to seek a new and higher self. It warns that once the change has truly begun, past the third mark, a return to the old self is dangerous and painful. So cool. Maybe we'll keep him busy. We got another mystique. Well, that's going to be gone by the time he's done. This notoriety that's on the board, though, might keep him busy long enough that we can finish working on this. Actually, it's going to time out. Well, it has a couple more things after that one times out. Never mind. Let's go back to the white door. You're off cooldown. Really need that heart lore so that we can do his treatise. Their blood pumps bright, then dark. They should not have opposed us. We move on. I'm gonna leave work available because we're gonna get a manuscript commission. Probably had time to do the work anyway, but I'm not sweating it. Suppose I could have painted to keep that peculiar rumor in action, but again, not overly concerned. The Ringyu's Shrine. Here on a flat rock, inches above the marsh water, is a throne carved of yew wood, ripe with fungus, ornamented with tarnished copper. This is the shrine we seek. All right, we await word about the success of the evidence tampering. Whisper your secrets into the earth. Burn them in fire. Scatter them in the sea. Still they will cling to your hair. The Tantra cautions. It provides an occult riddle that it claims is sometimes the answer to the riddle of the Hunter's Gate. So it's more moth. Riddle of the Hunter's Gate. Okay, they mentioned a riddle for the stag door. Study Ucine. I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay, good. Yeah, so it did grab the notoriety. 3 doesn't mean good things. Okay, so she's got another wound. God damn. So we were like knocking out damning evidence with no trouble, and then Sylvia's come up shy twice on just tentative evidence. That sucks. And now he's almost certainly gonna be able to pull it in and turn it into damning evidence. All right, what do we got? Okay, a really high level one for secret histories, which we can get to work on now. Fires 2 reason. That should give us a silver Spintria, which is nice. Let's go ahead and heal you and just hope that it isn't another winter scar. And that someone's gonna have to man up and get rid of the what I'm assuming is gonna be damning evidence. An intensity of radiance. So level 6 influence. Alright, so we have finished our expedition. I think we might try and plug in some stuff to see if we can do it right before I'm done. We got our funding back. Apple green paint marks ritual circles on the rock. The remains of sacrifices past squelch beneath our feet as we search the shrine. In a little hollow in the throne rests an oiled bundle of treasures. Let me pull them all down and then we'll see what they are. Okay. So first of all, vital pigment, we kind of know. The flayed tantra. So this is another Sanskrit. Yeah. Okay. So another book. Winged doll. In an attic above a skeleton house, there was a window. Beside the window, there was a box. In the box, there was a bandage. In the bandage was a twist of clotted hair. In the hair was wound a doll because the window had never been opened. That one's intense. All right, so we got a moth tool, yeah? And then icon of Saint Agnes. Saint Agnes of Bohemia was renowned for her pious dedication to the mortification of the flesh. This icon makes for grisly viewing. So that is a knock tool. All right, so 2 tools that we didn't have. So we have like some kind of an artifact for nearly everything at this point. I don't know why I put that down there. Oh, I think one time I thought that I was at the edge of the table, which is clearly not the case. All right, so I don't want to start another expedition because we're basically done with the episode, but I do want to wait on this work verb. Try right. So interesting, right? So I've kind of flipped the difficulties. I'm not really struggling that much with expeditions right now. It's the detective that I'm having issues with. Kind of a reverse of what I had just discussed at the start of the episode. Prepared for study. The mystic Broadnecks discusses the origins of the Cistern Witch and of the Thunderskin. The Cistern Witch were born in 2 wombs, one poor, one rich, across the sea. The sister was stronger in the aspect of heart, and so their survival was assured. The witch was stronger in the aspect of Grail, and so they were not satisfied. That's very cool. All right, shoot. So he's upgrading that evidence. Trembling in the air could wind up with some fuel. I think it's going to time out before our radiance dissipates. Let's might as well head to the white door as well. All right, so she's healed. It was a knock scar. Okay, so she's kind of bought herself a little bit more time. We have finished our manuscript, so let's go ahead and turn that in, and let's see if we can't make one of these happen. Okay, so each ray can be used for many purposes. For summoning, I must begin by calling upon the power of the knock, which will open the way. So we have knock. Ooh. Oh, so I can offer you up. There are possibilities here. If I add edge, I might bring something out from behind mirrors. If I add forge, I might contact something incandescent. Ooh, we can do it. It says it'll work. A hint was once summon a sharp-edged lantern thing. A hint was once a living mortal, and then a dead one, and now it's something else. Their summoning requires lantern for the light which drew them to the mansis. and edge for the striving they've endured in the mirrors. Ooh, okay, so wait, I just want to remember what this was. It was right at map's edge, our lantern, or I'm sorry, our knock lore, our edge blade, and then it was lantern influence. Oh, hell yeah, I want to see what that does. Yeah, so this wound up timing out with no issue. We've got Kirisham. Drive through the downs to the coast where the gray-green land meets Atlantic gray. Search along the road for signs of Kirisham Town. You will rarely find it, even if you have visited before, and its inhabitants guard their secrets with curse and cudgel and fast-bolted door. Awesome. Let's sell our bronze Spintria, and I think we should get a silver Spintria for the one we just did. Yeah, love it. Love that. Rack up that monies. You're on cooldown. We still can't do his. There's our damning evidence. What do you think, Sylvia? You want to take another crack? We'll see. Hang on. I don't want to get too many things going right now because I'm trying to wrap up the episode. I just got so dang excited about this right. In fact, I'm gonna let the other verbs kind of sit idle so that I don't feel the need to keep going. I think that's part of the problem, is I always have everything going simultaneously, so when I try and stop, I'm like, but that one's almost done. It is very much like a one more turn scenario. When the sister and witch came from the west, the Red Grail permitted their ascension, but then grew jealous of their power. It lured a great musician into the ranks of its names and caused him to be reborn from blood as a heart hour, so that the Grail might maintain dominion there also, but its victory is not assured. Whoa! Formula vigilance. One who watches does not sleep. One who sleeps watches not. One who watches does not sleep. One who sleeps watches not. This is a level 10. Use this in a right with Byzantine Tinct and a meteoric bullet or other resources of equal power to summon a percussagant. Why does this have so much information? Aspect requires intuition. With time and peace, answers sometimes come announced. To upgrade or subvert this fragment, you'd need glimmerings or an HQ with a sanctuary. Does it always tell me how to upgrade them? To upgrade, you need to risk your health or use a prisoner. Aspect heart requires obsessive research. That's crazy that it gives me so much information. All right, so that kind of changes my organization here a little bit. I didn't know they were going to go this high. So you're a 10, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And we will preemptively move these guys all over in the hopes that we get level 10s for the other types. And then what do we get for the other one? Rite of the Seas Feasting. This rite calls on the witch and sister to close the gap between what is and what might be. The adept pours or hurls an offering into water, preferably, but not essentially, the sea. Very cool. Man, that's okay, so that means we can also do Count Janning's commission. So that's a pretty big get. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, what's this gonna do for me? Oh, what a tease. I thought that was it completing. An erudition for our trouble in the white door. I will start this up again. The hunter or the hinter do not indulge themselves with showy entrances. A living gaze will shatter them. I know it's here, and that's enough for now. All right, so that's my stuff back. And then this is a hint. The hinter are most comfortable behind the scenes, behind the mirrors, behind you. They slide under doors and kill with glass, but they cannot survive the gaze of a living mortal. Yo, wait, this has... If this breaks free, it may assault you or consume your followers. Don't like that. Summoned. 8 lantern and 8 edge? You're a monster. Not everything from the mantis can speak, but everything can understand mortal speech, even once it is past the white door. Can I get rid of my evidence? Unsuitable to destroy evidence. My minion is powerful. This hunter is unlikely to survive, but the attempt will draw attention. Ooh, that's exciting. Man, I can talk to him about everything. That's a little daunting. I kind of wish I hadn't talked to him. You guys can't really do anything. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else I can do with him. All right, so that's fine. That's just gonna wind up being a wasted 60 seconds in that talk verb. But I was hoping we could use him to try and take a run at the evidence rather than risking our disciples again. I guess it's just a matter if he doesn't have the right aspect. Man, all right, awesome progress. You know, again, I feel like maybe it wasn't leaps and bounds, it's like slow chugging along. But a couple higher level expeditions knocked out. We have a couple disciples from every category now. We've completed a rite and summoned some horrific monster from the beyond. All that is very, very cool. I will probably come back and do another episode very shortly, maybe even back to back here, so I have 2 of them today. But it won't be up on the channel for a little bit. So I know these are kind of coming out piecemeal, but you know, believe me, I'm cranking them out as quick as I can because I am non-stop just thinking about what we're gonna do next with the Mirror of Glory. If you've watched through the whole episode, thanks so much for coming and hanging out while I learn the eldritch truths of the world. If you haven't already, make sure you click subscribe, the notification bell, leave a comment, leave a like, all that good stuff that helps with the YouTube algorithm. It's no secret at this point that the reason creators bug you about it is because it helps us and it lets me know that I'm doing something that you like. You know, that positive feedback goes a long way for me deciding what I want to continue playing on camera versus what I'm just going to play in my free time. So if you're liking Cultist Simulator, make sure you go and hit that like button and leave me a comment. Other places you can find me are pretty standard these days. So most of what I do is on Twitch. So if you've liked this playthrough, you can come see me live on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/ChrisVsBacklog. And then I consolidated a bunch of the other stuff I was doing into one location. I have a guilded server. I will get that link into the video description, maybe. I think it's down below. Regardless, go check that out because that's where you'll find me kind of chatting with the community, but also all of my reviews and like blog posts about the games that I play. Plus any feedback I'm seeking from the community, I normally put up there as a poll. Speaking of feedback from the community, the backlog is much more than just Cultist Simulator and a handful of games. It is enormous, and I am always eager for someone to give me some suggestions as to what else I should play, because it's easier than me trying to look through 1,000 games and pick one myself. So if you check out the link in the description below, you'll find a link to my backlog. You take a look and see something in there that you really enjoy that you'd love to see me play, or maybe something you've been curious about and you want someone else to play it before you decide to pull the trigger and play it yourself, let me know. Find out what game it is, grab the title, and either tweet it at me at ChrisVsBacklog or drop by the Guilded server and let me know in a message there. I love getting suggestions because, like I say, it's a lot easier than me picking. Anyway, thanks again for coming to hang out. I'll have more Cultist Simulator back for you real soon. Yeah, so don't wait. Cram on that subscribe button and keep an eye out for a notification for more Cultist Simulator. Until then, be good to each other, but be ruthless with those backlog. Bye, everybody.